Here we are sitting down with a spotlight chat with James from Greenlink Payroll. But wait, not really Greenlink Payroll. It's Greenlink Human Capital Management. And if you're confused, that's okay, because so am I. But that's part of what we do, is we get to meet you, James, and you get to tell us all about who you are and what you do and why we should do it your way. Wait, that sounds like Burger King. Oh, fantastic. I like fantastic. Okay. So before we get started, let's have some fun. Who is James?
So, wow. And I'm going to try not to talk about myself in the third person. I am someone who enjoys a lot of different things. I've got a wide range of interests. Obviously, you can tell from behind me that I'm a musician. I've worked in radio before. I've worked in restaurants before. I think my most important role right now is of daddy. I've got a 7-year-old son, and I'm currently working as a consultant for Greenlink Human Capital Management.
Okay, capital management. Is this
Yes.
Human resources?
Pretty much. I mean, but actually a little bit even broader than that. So, Scott, if you think of capital in terms of business as being your financial assets, human capital, those are your people. And it's your most important asset to any business. Now, having people comes with a lot of responsibilities, right? You need to do everything from find the right people, hire them. There's lots of different compliance things involved that the different government agencies need. You need to pay them, otherwise they're probably not going to stick around. Pay taxes on them, help them out with benefits, timekeeping, you name it. So if you think of that full spectrum of things that you need to do for employees, that's what we do.
So you're B2B, and for those in the need to know, business to business.
Absolutely.
Okay. So somebody who has a regular job, they work for a company, they would not interact or refer or deal with you, but the company would. Well,
yeah,
maybe
so
not.
A little bit of both, right? So our main clients are the businesses themselves, the business leaders and the business owners, but the employees definitely have an engagement with our software solutions as well. Because if I'm the employee of one of those companies, I might be using Greenlink services to log in on my mobile phone or on my computer to check my pay statements or pull down my W-2s. So if I'm at the dealership trying to buy a car and they need some information, I can just go right online and pull that down. If my employer allows it, I might even use Greenlink services to request time off or check my time off balances, or to punch in and out for timekeeping, or even do my training online through Greenlink. So our involvement expands beyond just the business themselves, but also to their employees as well.
Okay. And if I'm a business who has, how many employees? Like the starting point?
Anywhere from 1 employee to thousands of employees.
Okay. So let's say I have 50 employees and my employees are using the software as is I'm using the software, or whoever is my person that manages this piece of the business. Is it white labeled so it looks like it's running under my company banner, or do they know that they're going through the software from Greenlink? And does that matter?
We would actually co-brand it. So they're going to see that they're using, in this case, we're a certified network partner of iSolved. So they're going to see that they're using the iSolved solution delivered by Greenlink, but they're also going to have the company branding on there as well to help reinforce the company's brand.
Okay, great. So that I don't feel like I've gone to the wrong place and that I'm giving my contact information to the wrong company or the wrong person.
Absolutely. In fact, the employee's interaction with the software really begins from day one with their onboarding. So what happens is the employer will simply send an email to their employee saying, "Hey, welcome aboard to Acme Company. We're excited to have you. Please click on the following link to create your login and password and begin your onboarding process." So right from the get-go, the employees become familiar.
So let me see if I've got this straight. Wile E. Coyote welcomes you to Acme. Beep, beep.
Absolutely. The best anvil maker ever. Yes.
Touche. All right. I'm still in the weeds here, and I want to get some clarity. So if you were to explain Greenlink to someone, what would that be exactly? Because you talked about onboarding, and you're talking about employees, and you're talking about paying them, but it's not strictly payroll, right?
Yeah, it's not strictly payroll. And because it's such a broad set of things, usually what I do is just to funnel it down and saying what Greenlink is your partner for all things HR and payroll related. All right. Anything dealing with employee management, we can help to do. And it really just depends on the company and what their specific needs are.
Is there like a stair step level of things? In other words, if I have 20 employees, then I just need this. And if I have 100 employees, this plus that, or and is everything included, or each is like a la carte?
So what we do is we package it in a way that's both modular and customizable. So to your question, you're very much on the right track, Scott. Um, our call it the ante to play is as a client of ours would be using us for at least payroll services and the HR information systems included. But companies have the choice of whether or not they want to also use us for applicant tracking or for their learning management system. A company with 20 employees, it's very common that they might not be offering employee benefits, so they don't need our benefits module. While companies with 50 or more FTEs are actually required to do so.
Okay, hold on, jargon. FT.
Oh, thank you for catching me. Yes. A company with 50 or more full-time equivalents. That they're working full-time, or if you add up their part-time hours, there's a calculation to determine if they're an equivalent to a full-time employee. Under the rules of the Affordable Care Act, which a lot of folks still refer to as Obamacare,
yes,
employers with that many full-time equivalents really need to offer benefits. So I say all this to say the needs of a small company can vary much differently from the needs of a large company, which is why as a consultant for Greenlink, I start off by first getting to know the person, their business, and what they truly need, so we can help pair them with a solution that's customized to them.
Is it industry specific, or I mean, I know that the hairdresser always says anybody with hair is my customer. It's like that's not exactly true, because different types of hair require different types of application, and even a person who's bald might need a little trim on the beard or something. So I'm curious, real estate agents, manufacturing, car dealerships, I don't know, you tell me.
Yeah, we can really do them all. And that's why it's important to work with someone that has a lot of industry knowledge and experience. Namely myself, I'll toot my own horn, toot toot. But I've been at this for more than 15 years and have multiple certifications. There's a lot of things that are nuanced about different industries. Just for an example, in the construction industry, you're working on a federal contracts, you're required to submit paperwork to the government that's very detailed, called a certified payroll report, and you need to turn that in every week.
Every week?
Yes, it's a weekly report.
I'm weak just thinking about it every week. Okay.
Yes, and the stakes are high because that's how they could ensure that they're getting paid for the work that they're doing for the federal government. We offer specific solutions around certified payroll reporting. In the restaurant industry, there's tips, tip credits, charge tips. Those all get handled differently, and we're set up to support that as well. But we really do any industry, anywhere in the United States, all 50 states.
Okay. Let's get into the tip zone since you mentioned tips.
All right.
What's your best tip for a business owner who's crushing under all this paperwork, obligation rules, and everything, when all they really want to do is their thing?
So I would just say the best tip is to start by giving me a call, because really that's really the value of what we do. So although we provide software and we provide great service, the what's in it for the business owner is the time that they save and the peace of mind of knowing that they're kept compliant. Our systems are automatically maintained for all compliance updates, and we proactively notify our customers. The software is built out and optimized so it becomes super simple for them to use. And it takes tasks that otherwise might take a person days out of each week to perform. And it could literally trim that down into minutes or hours because it's automated through the system.
Okay. And are they doing the data entry for the software, or are they simply providing information and then your company manages that human capital piece of the puzzle?
So they could have it either way. In most cases,
Ah,
using the system themselves. And there's a lot of benefit to it because there's reports that they get at their fingertip. There's business analytics, because when all that data is happening in the software, you can gain a lot of insights from taking that information and distilling it down into something that's actionable. But we certainly have clients that just prefer to just say, hey, I just want to provide you with my hours and my rates, take care of the rest, and we'll meet them where they're at and help with that.
okay. Sounds very flexible.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the key thing that really differentiates us from the other competitors in the market space is that we truly provide a partner. That's a big difference. Think of it this way, Scott. If your cable were to go out, right? You know, who do you call, right?
I call the cable guy.
Yeah, but you don't know their name. It's an 800 number. You might wait 20 or 30 minutes before somebody picks up, and it's a significant inconvenience. Think about that in the payroll world. If you need to hurry up and pay somebody that's maybe been terminated their last check and you've got questions, waiting 20 or 30 minutes on hold in a call center to speak to somebody that you've never spoken to before can be stressful and not very effective.
And who doesn't know your business?
Exactly. So what we do differently is we pair up each of our clients with a dedicated account manager that they get to know, that knows you, knows your business, knows how to support you. And when you call, they pick up. They've got excellent availability. We'll do whatever we need to make sure that our clients are taken care of.
But you're not that account person.
No. So although I don't go away after the sale, and that sounds kind of like stalkerish. I don't mean to say that I'm what I do mean to say is I look to add value wherever I can, and my customers know that they can always call me night or day. They get my cell phone number, and I'm comfortable with that. I'm comfortable with helping where I can. They will, however, have a dedicated account manager that's whose role it is specifically to help them with all things.
That sounds great. What a smart idea. Now you've been with Greenlink, but not the entire time.
Yeah, no, not the entire time.
Okay, we're not going to talk about those other people, but I am curious
Yes.
because you have a compare and contrast. What do you like best about Greenlink now that you're with them?
You know, it's a much different experience going from a huge global company to a company that's owned and operated here in Mesa and a much smaller size company. The culture is fantastic. You know, there's just a level of trust amongst everyone that works here, a level of flexibility, and everyone's in it for the same reason, which is really just to make sure that we're taking the very best of care of our clients. And it's you know, it's effortless. It's you know, I don't know the phrase, and maybe Scott, you might know how it actually goes about if you find something you love, you never work a day in your life.
Yes, very true.
Yeah, that's how it feels for me working at Greenlink. What if I'm putting in extra hours? It's because I want to, and it's enjoyable.
Okay, so because you got to toot your horn,
Uh-huh.
I'm going to toot mine for a second and let you
Please.
know that we're not just going to see this video in Mesa, Arizona, but I have contacts throughout the United States, Canada, and a few parts beyond. So with that said and done, it's not just in Mesa, Arizona that you're referring to. So tell me now about the services. Can you help people in California, New York, and everywhere in between?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, we have quite a few clients, especially franchise owners, that have multiple locations across multiple states. So we are currently servicing clients in all 50 states of the US. When you were asking for the ideal client, the only thing that we're not in the business of doing, at least not today, is anything international.
Ah,
Anywhere across the US, absolutely. And if you run a company that has locations across multiple states, That's where it really becomes tricky because of all the different compliance pieces. But our support staff and our software is more than smart enough to take care of all of that.
Including the different taxes in different communities and all that. Because states
Absolutely.
and locales, they have sometimes just a tax in Los Angeles that's not required in other parts of the state of California.
I'm glad you asked that. And I'll give you a specific example about the software. The thing that I really love about the smart design. When you hire that person, let's say you've hired somebody, I'm going to use Nevada, for example, right? Because they have a Nevada modified business tax. When you hire that person and they go into the system to enter their name and address, once they've typed in their address, our system's going to look at their address. It's going to look at the address of the work location that they're reporting to, and it's going to know which taxes are due, and it's going to set that up automatically. Mm-hmm. Or not there's a reciprocal agreement between different locations, whether or not it's straightforward. The business owner doesn't need to remember to tell anybody, I'm subject to this unique tax in this area. The system's already going to know it.
Wow. And does it go based on where the company is doing business or based on where the employee is working out of?
Both. And that's because certain areas have lived-in requirements. There are certain taxes have a lived-in requirement, certain taxes have a worked-in requirement. So our system's taking a look at both the lived-in location and the worked-in location to understand which taxes are due.
First of all, I'm glad I don't have employees. And second of all, I'm really glad that you're around so I can refer you to people who have employees so they don't lose their mind over trying to figure all this out.
Sure, absolutely. Business owners decided to own a business or to lead a business to do what they're passionate about, whichever product or service that they're offering. Adding a service like us to have us help with the HR and the payroll aspects allows those business owners or leaders to focus on what they're truly passionate about and to not have to spend so much time pulling their hair out about the other stuff.
So they never work a day in their life because They love what they do.
Yes, hopefully.
Well, that's the plan. Thank you so much for sharing a little bit about you and Greenlink today,
Sure.
James.
Scott, thank you so much. Always a pleasure.